and thank you for being back today. And today I am really excited to do this video because I was thinking last night and I was like, what is it that I should do? And it popped into my head immediately and I was like, this would be a good one. So as you can see by the title, of course, this would be a list of things that I'm grateful to know now and that I wish I knew when I was a teenager, and I feel like I would have been a better person now. No, I'm not a good person, but I feel like I would have been a better person now if I knew these things. Some of these things are not things that I did, but I'm thankful that I didn't do. So let's just get into it. Okay, so the first thing I have down here is to question everything. And I'm not saying to be one of those people that nag and press at every tiny thing, but question everything in a sense that don't take anything at face value. If someone comes to tell you the sky is blue today, go outside and check and see if the sky is actually blue or if it's not gray and the rain isn't about to fall. Don't just take everything as people give it to you. Ask them how and ask them why, and question things. See if they even understand what they're telling you. You can't just expect everybody to be truthful to you because you're a good person and you don't lie or whatever, that you think people will be the same way. That's one of the problems I had when I was a teenager. Because I didn't lie, I still don't lie. And people might be looking like everybody lies, like I don't lie, but that's one of the things I really wish I knew as a teenager. I thought because I don't lie and I always speak the truth that people would be the same way, or people are the same way, although I know that they are liars. But yeah, that's one of the things that I really wish I didn't do. I question people more and I question things more, and I question things more before I actually went into things and did things, because I made a couple of mistakes, I would say, because of not questioning things. Like let me see if I can get a good example. For example, okay, there was this one time that this thing got me really annoyed. It's not really anything big, but it got me really annoyed because I had this one friend, I think I was in Form 5. Anyways, we signed up for, she was advertising this program, whatever, and you had to pay to join, right? And I wasn't working or anything like that, right? But I still joined. I got the money from my father and I still joined, whatever, thinking, because she was like, oh yeah, you should join, whatever, it's really good, whatever, thinking that she's done it and because she's really telling me it's really good and whatever, right? So thinking that she knows what she's talking about. When I joined, she wasn't there. I was on it by myself. I had to do it all by myself and so on. And like when I spoke to her about like, where were you, whatever, I was like, me, I don't do. She was like, me, I'm not doing that crap, whatever. I was like, but you said it's really good. And anyways, I ended up falling out of it because it was really trash indeed, but she didn't make it seem like that to me. And I think it was just because that I took her word for it so well and I didn't really question her about it in depth before I went into it. So yeah, try to question everything. Just don't jump into things. Let people really, let them leave no room for questioning. When you're done questioning them, your head must be 100% sure that yes, this is what I want to do, or that you believe that person. So yes, question everything. The second one I have written down here is I am whoever I choose to be. And I'm not sure if anybody really drops the description for my videos, but at the end of all my descriptions for my videos, I am whoever I choose to be. I can be whoever I want to be because I am my own responsibility. And that's something that I learned when I was about 13, 14, and I kept it with me. I learned from a teacher of mine, and it stands true to this day. I am whoever I choose to be. That is like one of the best quotes that I can ever think of. I'm not sure who said it or where she got it from, or if it was something from her, but that is one of the best things that I have ever learned or ever heard. I am whoever I choose to be. If you the type of person who's lazy or who's complacent, or the type of person who's outgoing and so on, you are who you choose to be. And I know there's a lot of factors that can affect, I'm no doctor, I'm no psychologist, anything like that, but I know there's a lot of factors that can affect the way people are, but it's up to you to change it. and you really are whoever you choose to be, because you are your own responsibility. Yes, you might be still in your living with your parents or whoever. You might still be under someone's care because you're a teenager or so on, but you really are whoever you choose to be, because you are your own responsibility. Okay, so this next one is the 5 seconds to do something rule, and I learned this one lately here, and I think it's kind of fun, but this is what it is, right? It's the 5 seconds to do anything. You know, when you have something to do, right? And the second you remember, oh shit, I have this thing to do, that same second, get up and go and do it. That same second, get up and go and do it. Because it's like how it was being explained to me is that if you take more than 5 seconds to think about going and do it, chances are, majority of the time, you wouldn't go and do it, or you end up forgetting again to do what you had to do. So within that 5 seconds, don't let that 5 seconds pass without you going and do it. Get up and go and do that thing, especially when you're in a situation where you're not doing anything, you're just there. For example, this usually happens to me. Yes, I lose a lot of umbrellas, and this is the reason why. Sometimes I would be on a bus, the rain was falling, so I was using my umbrella, whatever. I would rest it at the side of the bus, you know, wherever to drain off and so on, because you don't want to put it in your bag right away, right? And when it's 5 minutes to the time or close to the destination, I would say, oh yes, I have to pick up my umbrella. And then I would walk out of the bus or get out of the bus, whatever, and leave the umbrella, forget it, then I have to run it back and turn back and get the umbrella, or I end up completely forgetting until I have to actually use the umbrella again. Then I would be like, I forgot my umbrella on the bus. So it's like that same second that you remember, go do it, or chances are that you would get lazy and just put it off for the next time you remember, or the next day or whatever, or chances are you will just completely forget about it. So within that same 5 seconds, do it. Just do it. This next one is something that I learned in secondary school, and I learned it kind of mid-secondary school, and I am happy that I learned it. Is that you meet not this first part, you meet everyone for a reason. I learned that lately on here, but it says, what I wrote down here, that you don't have to keep them, you don't have to keep everybody. Get rid of toxic people. And that's what I learned in secondary school, that you need to get rid of toxic people. If it's somebody, even if it's, sometimes it could be a best friend. For me, it was a best friend. Even if it's the best friend, you know you have to get rid of that person, then just get rid of that person. I know this era that we're in right now is kind of like the ghost people or the block and delete people, which is kind of selfish if you look at it from another perspective. But if that person is toxic, and if that person is draining you, and there's a weight on your shoulder coming from that person, just get rid of them. You're not doing yourself any good. And remember, this is about you, not about them. This is about you and not about them. Get rid of that person. Get rid of toxic people. For me, it was a best friend that I had who was really toxic and draining, and at one point in time I really didn't want to be a fake friend, so I just had to get rid of her. Instead of being a fake friend and laughing at her fake boring ass jokes and all of that, it was just best for me to cut the slate and get rid of her. Although the way I did it probably wasn't the best way to do it, because I was young at that time and I didn't really know better. But yeah, get rid of toxic people before you yourself become toxic. And another thing is as well, could be get away from toxic environments. Yeah, so try your best not to be around somebody who weighs you down, or you feel pressured, or you feel like you're not being yourself, or you feel like you have to change who you are to suit who they are. Yeah, that could be a really, really uncomfortable situation. So number 5 is serious relationships. And I'm not someone to talk about relationships too much or give relationship advice, because, well, I don't really know about that so much. But what I can say is, if you're a teenager and you know you're now getting into things, you need to be more on the careful side. And like, how many relationships do you know that started when they were teenagers or in high school and lasted? And like, how many? I probably know of 2, So I'm not saying that it can't happen, but I'm saying don't put all your eggs in one basket, and don't give your all to a serious relationship whilst you're a teenager, whether you just leave school or whatever. But it's not the safest thing to do, to put all your eggs in one basket. Yeah, so don't commit yourself at a really young age. And I really wish I could have elaborated on this a little bit more, but I choose not to for specific reasons, such as, well, I don't really know much about relationships, so I don't want to talk about it too much. But I do know that you're at a young age, you're just starting out life. Why would you want to, I don't want to say trap yourself in anything too serious, but yeah, you don't want to trap yourself in anything too serious at a really young age. I'm not saying that you need to explore, but you have so much more to get from life other than just relationships, if that makes sense. So this one really, really, really needs to be said, and I wrote it down because I was thinking about people who I used to go to secondary school with, and then I see them now, well, on social media and so on, and they're looking like, okay, I don't want to say that, talk about anybody in a bad way, but they're looking way older than me, or than what they should look like or whatever. So I'm saying that to say that you need to, my suggestion would be, you need to eat healthy, you need to drink healthy, drink a lot of water, eat healthy, take vitamins. Don't wear and tear yourself down. Do not wear and tear yourself down. You do not have to go to every party. You do not have to drink alcohol every weekend. You do not have to be trending all the time. You can be low-key. Of course, everybody loves going out, having a good time and so on, but you don't have to make it a commitment. It's not something that you have to do every weekend. You always have to be out. You always have to post up for the gram. These things wear and tear you down, and it's not good for your body, nor is it good for your mental. And I feel like that's a reason why a lot of young people are looking so old these days, or older than they are. It's because they wear and tear themselves down. They're so experienced. They're only 23, but they're so experienced. So now they have wrinkles and all of that. And I'm not saying that to judge or belittle anybody, but it's just, I hope that this video particularly gets to a younger audience, so that they know that they don't have to be so up to speed with every party and every new thing that comes out. It's okay to not be included in all of these things. For me, I barely do it, but yeah, it's okay to not be included. Don't wear and tear yourself down. So this next point comes with not wearing and tearing yourself down. It's don't do drugs. Well, I know this might be something like would raise an eyebrow, like obviously don't do drugs, or it might raise an eyebrow in a way like, who are you to tell me what to do, But I'm talking about, like, let's say, like, I know a lot of people smoke weed, right? I'm not saying that it's necessarily a bad thing to smoke weed, or it's a bad thing to drink alcohol or whatever, but just not too often. I think I was explaining a while ago, not too often. You don't have to always be putting those things in your body, putting those things in your system so often. I know the feeling might be lit or whatever, but it wears and tears you down. Don't be popping pills or taking I don't even know how to pronounce it, but the E one. But yeah, you don't, these, like, it's not worth it. I can never ask the question, is it worth it? Because it's not worth it, trust me. And if you're around a group of people who are doing those things, just take yourself away from those people. Take yourself out of that circle. It's not worth it. It will destroy your entire path on life. It would just set you so off. I'm not saying that smoking weed every now and then, like, puff pass, no, you do not want no smoke, but let's say it's like not worth it to become so addicted to that. Like, you ever been around somebody and they have to excuse themselves because they have to go smoke a cigarette, or they feeling the craving for a drink or something like that? It's sad. So yeah, just it's best for you just not to get on that train. Don't ever get on that train. It just messes up everything for you. This one is something that I really live by, and it's stand up and speak out. Do not be a walkover. Do not be a walkover. Stand up and I've literally had instances where I had to stand up and speak out for other persons because they were being a walkover. I really hate to see it, and it just tears me and just cringe me. And I think that's because I was raised with a grandmother who always spoke out. Who my friends used to always tell me, Victoria, your mouth will get you in trouble. Your mouth will get. I was like, and I'm not saying to be one of those people whose mouth would get them in trouble, but if you're seeing something wrong, if you're seeing something being done wrong to somebody else, stand up and speak out. Don't let anybody do anything wrong to you. Stand up and speak out for yourself. You have a mouth. You're an equal human being just as they are. Don't let anybody walk over you. Stand up and speak out for yourself. And if you're also seeing somebody bullying somebody or picking on somebody, you can stand up and speak out for that person as well. Nobody is greater than anybody else. We're all equal. Like I used to always say to myself before, if I'm afraid to stand up and speak out to somebody else, like they're a human being the same way I'm a human being. He's not any more human than I am. I'm not any less human than he is. So I'm going to do what I have to do. This next one is be your own person. Don't follow the crowd. And I think this is one of the reasons why I never really had any much friends. I don't have a friend group, or I think it also stems from I wasn't really raised. We never encouraged to have friends. My mother didn't have any much friends either, so we were never really encouraged to have any much friends. And then when I started like mid-secondary school era, so I was like really confused when I was around a group of girls calling my friends, because I used to always be accustomed to being on my own, being by myself, because like they would want to do one thing and I'm like, that's not what I want to do. I'm going to go do what I want to do, and they would get upset, and I was like, but that's not what I want to do. And I used to always tend to be by myself. And yes, so it's really be your own person. You don't always have to follow the crowd. Go your own directions. If they want to go A, it's fine. It's totally fine that they want to go with option A. But if you want to go with option B, you go with option B, because that's what you want to go with. Okay, you don't have to follow the crowd. Sometimes even now, I have my friends, and we go out, and she wants to eat from this place and I want to eat from that place. I'm like, okay, well fine, you can eat from that place, no problem, but I'm not going to eat from that place. That's not what I want. And I'm not saying that you can't compromise. Obviously compromising is good, and it helps with relationships, but be your own person. Do what it is that you feel is best for you. You are the only person who knows what is really and truly best for you. So yeah, be your own person. So this next one, I kind of had to learn from it, and it's focus on your education now. Do it now. If you're in secondary school and your CXC is coming up in 2 years or whatever, focus on it now. I went through this process where I had to redo one subject that I failed, which was maths, and it was mainly because I was not focusing on it at all, because I had it in my head that well, if I fail I will just do it back, which yes, if I fail I would just do it back, but it's like it takes time to do something back. And when you leave your teens, then you realize how important time is. People need to start paying you for your time. Your time is so important, because that's something you can never get back. You can get back some money, you can get back a shoes, you can get back a clothes, but you will not get back that time that you lose. So focus on your education now. If there's something that if it's a project or assignment, SBA, whatever it is that you need to do now, do it now. Get it over with it now. Take the suffering now, because the suffering of staying up late, studying, doing all these assignments, all these projects, it's temporary. But the A's that you will get, your GPA that will raise, well, of course, your GPA will fluctuate, but the grades that you will get and the success that you will get from the overall process, that will last forever. Nobody can take your education away from you. They could buy your phone and snatch it back from you 2 days from now, but they cannot take your education away from you. So focus on it now. You will have plenty time to do all those other stuff that you want to do. And I know people probably told you this before, you have time for that, nothing gonna send you and all that jazz, but trust me, it is so true and it has so much weight because, well, it is true. So focus on what you have to do now. If this 5 years is set for secondary school, be in secondary school. Don't try to be in secondary school and be in those big people party too. We now want to go big people party. Okay, so yeah, focus on your schooling now. And yeah, that's about it. That's all I have, and I really do hope that this video got to a younger audience and that it helped you, and that you at least took away one of these tips and that you actually put it into practice. I mean, like, you don't have to listen to anything I'm saying, but I'm saying these are things that I really think that might help you, and I really needed to get it out there because it helped me so much. And if it's one person that it benefits, it will mean so much to me. And yeah, if you like this video, if you came to the end of it, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, you know what, go look at another video of mine, give that one a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed, it's you don't have to pay to subscribe. Like, if you click that button down there, like that red button, if it's still red, if you click it, you don't have to pay not a cent to do that. Like, that's the thing, I'm giving that to you for free. I'm giving that subscribe button absolutely free. Click it. And if you would like to be notified when I post content, then you would hit that bell button next to that subscribe button, that red subscribe button that you have to turn into green. Hit that button next to it and it will notify you every time I post. And ciao.